Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go.
Guys, y'all know a lot of people talk about heartbreak in terms of relationships. A lot of people talk about heartbreak in terms of bad breakups, getting a divorce. But I've had a lot of family tragedies, and I'm going to share some family tragedies with y'all that shaped the reason why I became so passionate about wanting to help you guys lose weight, get healthy, get in shape, because the tragedies that have happened in my family is really, shaped my whole perspective on life and health, okay? Back when I was a kid, my granddad, who was my road dog, he passed away when he was 46. He had a heart attack at 46 years old. That's extremely young, guys. Before that point, I was kind of like the family kid. I grew up in his house with his two sisters, so I stayed with him, my granddad, and my two, how do you call it? Great, how do you say that? Not aunties, but great aunties. My two great aunties. I don't know why it was so hard to think of, but my two great aunties, and all of them were heavy set. All of them were obese. Right? We used to eat pork chops, neck bones. You know how people eat on Thanksgiving? That was every day. That was every day for us. Pork chops, neck bones, cornbread, macaroni and cheese. I used to lick the bowl out of the pound when my auntie Louise was cooking pound cake. You know what I'm saying? I still remember the taste of it. It's like crazy. And, that shaped me. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of the reasons why I still love eating soul food, because that's how I grew up. And, as I was growing up, I didn't stay with my mom and dad. I stayed with them, my granddad and his two sisters. I started noticing them develop some really, really serious health issues. Not only did my granddad pass away, but before he passed away, I went from watching him and sitting down with him on his bed, looking at what did they have, like Transformers cartoon back then. We used to be looking at Spider-Man and Venom and, enjoying good times. And then over time, I started noticing he ended up having a CPAP machine. And as a kid, I didn't know what this was, but he ended up having a CPAP machine and hooked up to his face while he was laying in the bed and things like that. And as a kid, I didn't know what was going on, but, as I got a little bit older, he ended up passing away. But then his other sister, one of his other sisters named Louise, she was also heavy. She ended up passing away from type 2 diabetes. And while I was staying with her after the other sister and Annette, she ended up passing away in a heart attack. Well, not a heart attack, but a car accident. And my granddad passed away. Louise, I stayed with her, right? And she was hiding from the entire family that she had type 2 diabetes. And I'm this little kid, 8, 9, no more than 10 years old, somewhere up in there. I'm seeing her poke herself with needles, right? Because she was hiding from the family. I'm seeing her yell my name, "Hey, Quiz, bring trash can," because she'd be vomiting while she was laying in bed. Like, this was a daily thing. It was like a routine. I already knew she was going to call me at some point. I didn't know why, but, I knew why, but I didn't know when, but I knew she was going to call me every day. "Quiz, get me a little cup of ice." "Quiz, get me bring trash can in here." And so I could, she wouldn't say why, but, I heard her vomiting. And so, now that I think back on it, that's not something that a little kid should be seeing or hearing or experiencing. But I did. I experienced those things. And after all three of them passed away within like 2 years, all three of them passed away. Granddad passed away from a heart attack. Then Annette, which was his sister, she passed away in a car accident, which I should have been in the car with them. It just so happened I went to my grandmother's house on my dad's side, and I wasn't in the car with them. And then Louise, she ended up passing away from type 2 diabetes. This in 2 years, y'all. 2 years, all three of them passed away. Crazy. It's crazy how God works. It's very interesting, which led me to being able to move with my dad. All right. And what's crazy is when I moved with my dad, the damn living room was a gym. I had never lifted weights. I had never really worked out. I would see, WWF and WCW back then. My granddad got me into looking at wrestling. And so I wanted to get swole like them. I used to be wrestling with my cousins, body slamming them and stuff like that. But I didn't know how to get that look. It wasn't until I moved with my dad when, he put me on the weights and I started exercising and working out. But that pain and heartbreak still stayed with me from seeing my granddad pass away and my aunties because, they raised me up till I was like 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember when my granddad passed away, I just noticed the family wasn't getting together as much anymore. Like we used to have like really big get-togethers almost every weekend. Like I'm talking about cars packing out the neighborhood, everybody coming to our house, eating pork chop, neck bones, everything. Little kids running around outside and inside the house. The old folks, they overweight. My granddad and his two sisters, they wobbling to get up out the couch. Come over and help me up, baby. Come over and help me up. You know what I'm saying? And all of it ceased. All of it stopped when they passed away. It was a lot of heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Like I still think about them on a weekly basis. I'm like, man, what would life be like if they were still here? How would they feel about me if they seen where I'm at right now and how I'm helping people? Like, it's just so many questions that just come to mind. And a lot of people don't think about these things. And as I was growing up, we didn't know anything about how eating healthy. We didn't have as much information back then as we have now. We didn't have a Jay Jackson talking about stop eating this food, that big ass stomach, baby. We didn't have none of that. No shit, we used to just eat. You know what I'm saying? And back then they used to say, well, we big bone. And when I went to Georgia State University, I ain't never seen no damn big bone skeleton. I was the only one in class thinking that big bone was a thing until my professors started talking about there is no big bone. These people are obese. These people are morbidly obese. They have a very high percentage of belly fat and body fat. And when you have a very high percentage of body fat, it dramatically increases the risk of you having high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. I clearly, vividly remember my professor saying, hey, when people get obese, they have high blood pressure, but their little cousin on the side is right there with them, type 2 diabetes. And so you're not going to be too far away from having type 2 diabetes if you already have high blood pressure and you're obese. I'm talking about you guys who are 5'7", 260, 280, 300, 5'9", 5'10", thinking that it don't look bad on you. Guys, you're obese. You have to drop some weight, man. This is how you start to normalize these things, and you think that it's okay because you don't have nobody putting up a mirror in front of you telling you, man, look, that's a significant amount of weight you carry. You wondering why you're tired? You wondering why you have mental health challenges like depression, and you get in ruts and you're not feeling motivated, your libido dropping. It's the damn weight, man. It's the weight. And it's very heartbreaking to have people, and I think we've all, at this point in our lives, I'm in my mid-30s, we've all experienced some type of loss in our family. Now, I've lost both of my grandmothers, my granddad on my mom's side, and his two sisters, which I stayed with them for 10 years of my life. And it ain't easy, especially if you're close to them. It ain't easy. It's just as painful as if you were in a relationship with somebody you really loved and you had a bad breakup. And I don't think a lot of people realize how much of a heartbreak it can really and strain it can put on their family, especially if y'all who got, you got a wife, you got kids. Dude, this is my granddad I'm thinking about. He's my dad. I think about him. I still think about my granddad. Imagine the type of impact if you have high blood pressure right now, but it's all good. I'm taking the medication. Boom, one day you have a stroke. Yeah, this happens all the time. Every day this happens to somebody. You end up having a stroke. And you notice that you can't use your legs or your hands the right way. So my cousin, well, not my cousin, my auntie Louise, when I was just staying with her after my granddad and his other sister passed away, Louise had a husband named Abram. Abram used to be talking, used to be smoking cigarettes, they used to be eating chitlins and all kinds of stuff. I ain't want to eat all that, but they used to be eating, you know what I'm saying? And one day Abram had a stroke. After that day, I never heard Abram talk again. I heard him grunt. I heard him, I heard him do those things. He never spoke again. His face, I would see him drooling. You know, I'm like 9, 10 years old now. I'm seeing him drooling. I'm like, what the hell going on? Wipe that off. He couldn't feel it. Knowing what I know now, I'm older, he couldn't even feel that he was drooling. And he couldn't talk. Guys, these are the types of things that can happen if you mess around and have a stroke because health-related issues. Excess weight. You see what I'm saying? I actually trained this one guy. He was telling me this happened in his early 20s. This guy, he had a stroke because he just had poor eating habits and he couldn't even use his hands or his legs for weeks. And he was like, by the grace of God, he was able to start back feeling his hands and feeling his legs because I think he had like 7 or 8 kids. I'm like, dude, you got so many kids. Like, dude, you got to take care of yourself. This is a huge responsibility. You can't just bring kids into this world and you're not taking care of yourself. And so I say all this to say, if you don't start taking care of yourself, because I know a lot of y'all be saying y'all not motivated. You're not motivated to work out. You're not motivated to be healthy. And I know there's a lot of snowflake trainers out there that talk about set the goals and make your vision board, which that has a place. There's a place for that. But a lot of times I notice in my life, it's the consequences that motivate me. It's I don't want to go broke, so I'm gonna wake up and go to work. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my family to want or need and I can't provide type shit. And same thing in terms of your health. I know if I was overweight, 30, 50, 100 pounds overweight, I wouldn't need no more motivation other than, shit, what if things get worse in a year? What if I don't start exercising and eating right? What's going to happen in a year from now? What's my life going to look like? What's going to happen 5 years from now? What's my life going to look like? How am I going to feel? How is it going to impact my family? You got little kids, you got a little girl, got a little son who's full of energy, but because you're overweight, you don't have the energy. You don't look the part. You're not as confident as you need to be, and to exude that confidence in the way where your family, your kids, they admire it and they want to step into being the best version of themselves. What's their life going to look like in a year, 5 years from now, if you don't start making some changes? And Lord forbid something, detrimental happens to your health. Now that's heartbreak on your family. In the same way I had to experience those things with my granddad and other people in my family because they weren't taking care of themselves. They didn't make it a priority to eat fruit, eat vegetables, eat protein. It was, back then we used to be drinking Kool-Aid all the time. Kool-Aid was a big thing. The modern day Kool-Aid is sweet teas and simply lemonade. That's the modern day Kool-Aids now. All right, it just changed names. They still the same shit. And most folks, I gotta have me a little bit of that. I gotta have me a little. But look what happened, guys. You don't have to learn from your mistakes. You can learn from other people's mistakes. Like you can learn from people before you, and you can learn from other people's stories, like the story I'm sharing right now. If you know you want to have a better future for yourself and the people that you love and care about, look back at the history. Your family history, other people's family history. It's the reason why I talk about, hey man, you gotta lose that big old ass stomach. You gotta lose that belly. Because my granddad, he had a big old ass stomach. he was like he used to do truck drive and all kind of stuff. He was like the provider of the household. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I was a little kid, I used to be laying on his damn stomach in his bed while we was looking at TV and cartoons and all that kind of stuff. And crazy the impact that it can have on your family and the heartbreak and pain that it can bring because of decisions or lack of decision that they made. You know what I'm saying? And so I say all this to say, What do you want your life to look like within the next year, 5 years, 10 years? Like, how would your life be different if you dropped 30, 50, 100 pounds? Would you have more energy? Would you have more confidence? Would you start that business? I know a lot of guys, we get our status in terms of in life, like revenue, making money. You know what I'm saying? We got to provide, right? How much more would you be able to provide and do if you had the energy, if you had the confidence? Nowadays in this world, man, people, you don't have no damn business card. The way you look is your business card. Like, a lot of y'all who are tired all the time, you can't even talk with the type of confidence and energy that you want to because you're tired. The weight that you have on you is weighing you down. And so how much more money could you make if you was 30, 50, 100 pounds less? How much more time would you be able to put into making more money, being more productive, enjoying life with your family and your kids if you was down 30, 50, 100 pounds? How would it affect your kids and your partner, your parents, if you was down 30, 50, 100 pounds? Now, this is big. This shit is not just about looks. Like, y'all, if y'all notice when y'all look at my content, I'm not always showing my abs. Like, I wanna look good, but shit, I wanna feel good too. I wanna be healthy. You know what I'm saying? I wanna be a positive role model. I wanna be and not even just for my immediate family, but also when we do like family reunions, I want the little ones who coming up behind us to be like, hey man, what does he do? How is he doing that? And what do you think that does to a little kid? The same way when we growing up, we look at these athletes and pro athletes and movie stars, man, I want to be like them. But now we have people in our community, in our families, that are being positive role models to where the kids don't have to look at them people on TV. They can look at us. They can be like, hey man, he got, how old he is? Oh, he in his 30s? Man, he got abs. What? Man, what you be doing? Oh, you be doing sit-ups? You be going to the gym? Really? Why you be eating? Oh, you for real? Now it goes from everybody want to go to the candle lady to everybody want to eat fruits, vegetables, because we done made it look sexy to eat these things. You got to make it look sexy. You got to make it look sexy. Like, you see the what do you call them? The music artists and the actors. They have these different types of tattoos. They're inspiring the culture to want to get these things because they make it look sexy. We can make being fit look sexy because when we see people who communicate like us, look like us, have a similar upbringing, things like that, we be like, oh man, I resonate with that person. That's why some of y'all rock with me, because it may be the way I deliver the message or communicate, my colloquialism, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there's certain people that I can't touch that you can touch. Your little cousins, your mom, your dad, your kids, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Your staff, if you got a business, you start getting in shape, they be like, hey, you know what, man, boss out here getting it in. He got more energy, he looking good, he feeling good, got a different pep in his step. Man, it's time to make this change. It's time to make a change. I'm about to raise my standard of living because of you. Because if you don't, if you just a person who meandering through life, man, I don't want to do that. I don't have no motivation. How your kids go at? How your spouse go at? You wonder why your girl, she don't want to give that good loving like she used to? She ain't giving you that, yeah. She ain't giving you that in the bedroom. Imagine if you was more in shape. You bringing the bread, you taking care of the household, but imagine if you was in more shape. You had more energy. You know what I'm saying? You could seduce her. That's a whole nother game. Some of y'all don't even know how to do all that. That's a podcast for another day. But anyway, yes, guys, you can seduce your ladies still. That's what they be wanting. They be wanting that seduction. You can have all the money in the world, but you got to build them other skills. That's a soft skill. Knowing how to say certain words to make her, yeah, get her there. But you got to be willing to take care of yourself, man. You got to be willing to take care of yourself. I don't know how we got on that coming from family tragedy. But anyway, listen, guys. There's a lot of heartbreak comes with not taking care of yourself. Stop being selfish, man. This is not just about you not being motivated to want to work out or lose weight. how is it going to impact the people that you love and care about? When you have more reasons to do well, you will do better. You will do better. Unless you're just selfish. Unless you're just thinking about self. But most times, what I've noticed, real men, real women, when they have other people who depend on them, that love and care about them, they go do shit. They're gonna do things even when it's not convenient. Like I have a coaching client, like Darrell. He's down over 50 pounds. He don't always want to get his ass on the goddamn Stairmaster and do cardio. Like I don't even want to do that shit. And I'm not 30, 50, 100 pounds overweight. But imagine I got folks like Darrell and Christopher Williams, Christopher Walker inside my coaching program. All these folks 40 to 50 plus pounds down overweight. But imagine carrying that type of weight on your body and you doing it anyway. Because you got people who love and care about you that depend on you, and you take it as a responsibility to take care of yourself because you want to be here for them. Because you could be that role model. Because if something happened to you, who they gonna look to? Another man? Another woman got to come into the household, and now that person got to be that example. Y'all know we live in a crazy world. Yes, guys, this shit is real life. You have all kinds of men and women that your kids might come in contact with if something happened to you. And now that affects their life. Because you wasn't willing to make the decision to say, man, this is a responsibility and an obligation. This is not I do it when I feel like it. I do it when the summertime hit. I do it when New Year's hit. No, this is a lifestyle. So make it a lifestyle of raising your standards to want to take care of yourself. But not just you, but also the people that you love and care about. All right? Hopefully y'all found this podcast helpful. If you did, be sure to hit the follow button. Leave your boy a 5-star rating so we continue to grow this movement. And we out of here. Let's go.
Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.